a little motivation for you, a little motivation for you. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Tiffany. Welcome back. Welcome back to Tips Tuesdays, and we are interviewing some of the nominees of the Music Love Awards. We've been doing a few of these for the last couple of weeks, and we're keeping going with it. That didn't sound right at all, but we're gonna keep going with it. So we have tonight a special guest, Mr. James Glover. Y'all, welcome him to the stage.
Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone?
I'm good. I'm good, and I hope everybody else out there is doing good. How are you?
I am well. I am well. I am well. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Good, good. I'm excited to be interviewing you. I have the pleasure of interviewing some of the nominees this year. Tips Tuesdays was nominated as podcast for podcast of the year, and also your podcast is podcast of the year too. So we in the same
Yes,
category this year, and
yes,
I
ma'am.
want to say congrats to you on your nomination.
Yes. Congrats to you on your many nominations. Your
It's only
many.
three. It's only three. Thank you, though. Oh, so we are going to get into things tonight and get to learn you a little bit, uh, and things like that. So, what I want you to do is I want you to introduce yourself to the people. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right, definitely. Hello, you all. My name is James H. Glover III. Some call me Reverend Glover. I am a minister. I've been preaching for ever since I was 17 years old. I am a singer as well. I've been podcasting for about 6 years consistently, and I'm just a lover of God and God's people. That's it.
All right, okay. Preacher, singer, podcaster.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
you
Yes,
wearing a
ma'am.
lot of hats too.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah. And working a full time 9 to 5 as well. So it's literally,
And working a full time job. Power
literally.
to you on that one. So, we are going to get into things tonight. As I stated, James is nominated for Podcast of the Year, and it's called James H. Glover Studios. Did I get that
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And where are you based out of? You in Arkansas?
Yes, ma'am. I am from Kentucky.
Oh, from
I have
Kentucky. All right.
multiple I have multiple podcasts. That's where James H. Glover Studios came from. I just, instead of putting all of them separately, why not put them all under the same umbrella and just make a schedule for them to be released on the days that they need to be released.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, cause I get to be on yours next month, so I'm looking forward to
Yes,
that.
yes. We
Yeah,
excited. We
podcaster,
are excited.
podcaster.
Yes, we
Yeah,
are excited.
I'm excited to network, and that's one thing that the Music Love Awards is good for is networking. It's a gathering of worshipers and those of like mind, but it's also about networking too. And that's one thing that I do love about the Music Love Awards. So I'm excited to. Will you be there in person at the Music Love Awards?
Lord's willing, yes. I'm planning on being there in person. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So we are
If
going to
I'm not
get
there, I
into
already have
things.
somebody from my team that's already said they're gonna be here. So we James H. Glover Studios is definitely gonna be represented, but I'm planning on being there.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I look forward to seeing you if you are there. And then
Hmm.
if not, looking forward to seeing your team there. Um, Definitely excited about that. So, y'all, like I said, he has been nominated for Podcast of the Year also. So, y'all go and vote, vote, vote. There's many nominees on there. Y'all put y'all's votes in for all the nominees.
Yeah,
Um, because it's unlimited until July 31st, and it is all good, friendly competition.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
It's friendly competition. But y'all, when we get together and the at the awards, it's just a praise and worship experience that you don't want to miss. And
Man,
so, with that being said, let me let y'all know August 22nd and 23rd. If you're not doing anything, come on out to the Music Love Awards and see what all of the excitement is about. Okay. All right. So we are going to get into things, get to know Mr. James Glover a little more.
okay,
At this time, if you are watching, please share this interview with somebody so they can get to know him too. All right. So, first of all, how does it feel to be nominated for these awards, for the awards?
man. It is a blessing to be nominated. When I look at that category that I'm in, and I see all of these other heavy hitters, such as yourself, in that category, I'm just blessed to be in that number.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to the most at the Music Love Awards?
Definitely the networking. Like you said, I have heard that it is an amazing networking experience. So I'm looking forward to that. And also the worshiping, just being there with like minded individuals and just worshiping God together. I'm all for that.
Yes, most definitely. There'll be a lot of that at the Music Love Awards. I'm so excited for that. Shout out to Mama Francis for putting this event on and all that have helped her, now, in the future, in the past, because we speaking more and more years for the Music Love Awards, most definitely. So, all right. So let's see. What inspires you to podcast? You said you've been podcasting for the last 6 years and things like that. So, what inspires you to start a podcast or podcasts, plural?
Man, COVID. When COVID first hit, I was in the I was in the midst of ministry, and my ministry was going well, and I was traveling a little bit. But when COVID hit, things got shut down, of course. So I'm like, okay, God, what can I do at this moment? And He gave me the idea for a show called PRL, which stood for Prayer Request Live. And I did that for a while. It became successful, and so much to the point to where one of my cousins, shout out to her, Miss Carol Francis, she hit me up and she was like, "Bro, you need to do something for the young people." She's like, "They might not go on to PRL, but you need to give them something." So I started a show that was entitled Monday Movement, which later became Real Talk Monday. And from there, we've just expanded and grown from there. We've had lineup changes, we've had co-host changes, but one thing that has made remain consistent is the motto, which is ministry by any means necessary.
All right, okay. Um, so you already stated how long you've been doing it, 6 years. Kudos on that. I'm 3 years in, so yeah, yeah. Um, what what is your go-to scripture or quote that keeps you motivated?
Don't get weary in well doing. for you shall reap if you faint not.
Most definitely. Because I know sometimes life gets hard. Podcasting might get hard. People don't know the backgrounds of podcasting. They get to see the production of things like that, but they don't know the
You
things
see the
that you go
final
through
part.
right before the episode. Yeah, I go live on all my stuff. I don't know how your process is, but I go live on
Hmm.
all my stuff. And it seems like sometimes within the process of doing things, the computer gonna do something, the mic gonna do
Yes,
something, the lights gonna do something
yes,
gonna happen,
man. Let
or
me tell
something
you.
ain't gonna save.
Let me tell you. For the longest, these last few months, I went to pre-recording, and I loved it.
Mhm.
And then one of my good friends got on me, and they're like, "You need to start going back live." I'm like, "Man, I'm loving the pre-recording lifestyle. I can edit. I can I can make changes when it needs to be. I'm good."
Right.
But I think last week, well, actually Monday night was the first time in a long while that I've been back live again, and my audience really showed that they missed the live feedback. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back.
Yeah, it's definitely a different feel when it's live, and you have your live audience and things like that, because it adds to the show, versus people watching it pre-recorded. I've done some, probably like two pre-recorded videos, just because, like, just to accommodate for the guests or whatever.
Hmm.
But other than that, more than likely, my podcast is always
Gonna
live,
be
and with it being live, it gets live.
exactly. When it's live,
Yeah,
you do everything. Any slip ups,
yes,
everything. There is no
yeah,
let me fix this.
right. Raw, authentic, and it's
Yeah.
wonderful. I love the live feel of the podcast.
Hmm.
So, podcaster to podcaster, what's a tip that you would give those out there who maybe want to start a podcast and they just haven't started? What's something that you would give them?
Do not fall for the trap or the lie of all you have to do is just push record. Don't do it because there's more to it than just pressing record. You have to figure out what your niche is, figure out what your audience is, figure out what your audience is needing. And my next advice to you is don't make the mistake that I made and go on Amazon buying a bunch of stuff that you don't even need. When I tell you, if I had the money back that I spent on Amazon ordering a bunch of this stuff that I really didn't even need, man, it's crazy.
Right. Cause yeah, people ask me like, what's your setup? And I'm like, a laptop, a mic, a laptop and a mic. That's it. And sometimes not even the mic, depending on technical things.
Yeah,
Like before we started, I had my mic set up and everything. But sometimes the mic don't want to act right.
exactly, exactly.
Another thing that you might run into when it comes down to podcasting, but that is good advice right there. If you want to do it, just start it. Don't overthink it, second guess yourself. Just start it. All you can do is start and see where it goes. So
Amen.
that's some good advice right there. So, do you already have your outfit picked for the Music Love Awards?
Do I have what? Oh, yes, 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 yes. I already have that. I already have that. Already. And the way
Okay, okay, I don't.
is already the one that's always asking, is it August yet? Is it August yet?
Yeah, he been had his for the last few months.
Exactly.
Definitely. Um, All right, so you already got yours picked out.
Hmm.
What is something that you do in your downtime? We always preach self love, self care, things like that. What's something that you do in your downtime?
And listen to music, read a good book. You might find me in the gym. One of them three things.
Okay, so that goes into the next question. What's on your playlist right now?
You said what?
What's on your playlist?
My playlist? My
Yeah.
playlist. Playlist. Man. With my playlist, mm, my playlist is all over the place. 1 minute you might get country. 1 minute you might get 90s R&B. 1 minute you might get 90s hip hop. The other minute you might get quartet music. You're gonna get a lot of quartet music because I am a quartet baby to the core. Then you might get some choir music. You just never know.
Hey, that's always a good type of playlist to me. So okay, so we are going to do a thing and give you a little taste of Tips Tuesdays, where we go to the wheel and we do inspirational topics. You'll only have one topic tonight,
Okay.
um, but I had to do the Tips Tuesday spin of things. So we are going to go to the wheel and see what topic you are going to do.
All right, let's do it.
Holding on is the topic. So off the top of your dome, what you got?
Okay, holding on. Oh man. Look, you guys, sometimes it may get hard. The race may seem like everybody else is finishing. It may seem like everybody else is finishing before you. It may seem like you're never going to win, but you just got to hold on. You got to keep the faith. You have to know that the race is not given to the swift, neither to the strong, but to the one that endureth to the end. You got to hold on. But on the other hand, there are some of us that are holding on to things that God is very much telling us to let go of. We have to understand that in order to go to that next level, that we have to let go of those very things that we sometimes feel like that we need the most, because God is trying to take us to another level. And sometimes we hinder ourselves from getting to that level because we are comfortable with the things that we've had for so long. So, yes, there's a time to hold on and there's a time to let go. The problem is some of us don't know what season that we're in. You have to understand the season that you're in. Either it's time to hold on to that thing or it's time to let it go. You have to pray to God and see what season you're in.
I think you knocked out like three or four toppings within that one topic for sure. You said the next level. You said letting go. You said knowing knowing the season change. All of that. You did like four topics right there. Uh, if you
It
go to
wasn't
my
even smart too.
podcast, right? If you go to my podcast, you'll see those different topics throughout the episode. So yeah, y'all go check out Tips Tuesdays and see those different inspirational topics. So once again, we are interviewing Mr. James Glover for Podcast of the Year for the Music Love Awards. Y'all go vote for him. The voting link you can find at the musicloveawards.com. But another spot that you can check it out at is everythingtiffany.com. Go on that website and you will be able to get directly to the voting link and vote, vote, vote. It's unlimited voting until July 31st. So y'all support the arts because that's what it is, a podcast, music, everything. So support the arts, support the things that are going on, when you, especially when you know somebody that is doing these things. So definitely support like it was your favorite celebrity.
Amen.
Okay. So do you have any other words of inspiration for anybody out there?
The only other words of inspiration I would give someone is to just stay consistent. Stay consistent. Continue to show up and continue to depend on God. Don't depend on man because man will fail you. Depend on God and allow Him to direct your path. And also, I want to shout out to you and thank you for the opportunity to be interviewed by you. Shout out to the founder of the Music Love Awards. We appreciate her. And shout out to the best personal assistant this side of the Mississippi. We appreciate her.
Team
We
Sykes.
Yes, yes, yes. We appreciate her and thank her for all that she does behind the scenes.
Most definitely. So, once again, if you have nothing to do, um, August 22nd and 23rd, come and be a part of the Music Love Awards. There's the information right there on the screen. Also, you can go to musicloveawards.com if you'd like to get your tickets or you just want to learn a little bit more about the Music Love Awards. There, you can be a sponsor of the show. You can nominate, you can vote, vote. But just check out the Music Love Awards and be a part of the action. Again, tonight we are interviewing Mr. James H. Glover Studios for Podcast of the Year. So y'all go vote, vote, vote. And we are about to get ready to wrap this thing up. And y'all have a great and wonderful evening. Have a blessed one. A little motivation for you.